All right, dear friend, here it's Mr. Z, your math coach. So today it's a different day because we will spend time on a different type of exercise. So today review is intended to any student that have learned about the infusion rate and need to get some refresh, or again someone that been in a nursing school is trying to get some refresh to go take dosage calculation test, or those students they are learning concept of infusion rate right now in the school. So take your time, go get glass of water, go get some cup of coffee, sit down, relax, because this is not gonna be a quick tutoring video where you will just come in and leave. No, this is where you will come and learn. Now, let's review some of the concept. Let's use this right there. Dear friend, you know infusion rate. A lot of people remember this. Infusion rate, it's expressed as milliliter per hour. We gotta be on the same page. So infusion rate can be expressed as a milliliter per hours. So anytime they are using milliliter per hours, it means what? They are using a pump to infuse that medication. Don't forget that. They are using a pump to infuse a specific quantity in volume over a specific time using the pump through someone IV line. Okay? So, example, if they say infuse 100 milliliter over 10 hours, and the question is, what is the infusion rate, or what is how many milliliter per hour the nurse will set the pump to, or what is the pump rate, or what is the flow rate? I do 100 divided by 10, and your answer is going to be 10 milliliter per hour. So I want to help you quick to understand milliliter per hours, my dear friend. Question involving milliliter per hours. Remember I told you, depending where the question are coming from, milliliter per hours, they can refer to that as a flow rate. Flow rate. Some book, they can refer to milliliter per hours as a pump rate. Some, they will call that as an infusion rate, or they can call that sometimes as dosage as well. So dosage, infusion rate, flow rate, pump rate. So what I want you to know is milliliter per hours can go two separate ways. So you will use two different approach depending on the scenario to solve question regarding milliliter per hour. The first one is going to be volume over time, just like we did here. Infuse 100 milliliter over 10 hours. So in any exercise, anytime they give you time, either in a minute or in hours, just know if you are looking for milliliter per hours, you will do volume over time. This volume must be in milliliter. The time must be in an hour. Did you hear that? Milliliter per hour. It gotta be an hour. So If you cannot use volume over time, if you don't see the time, well, it means you will use your dosage formula to solve for milliliter per hour by doing order divided by available time quantity. All right. So if in any exercise they don't give you order, they don't give you time, you know you will use your dosage calculation. Read the question carefully, because the first thing for you to do is to identify your available and your quantity. Both of them always goes together, hand to hand, side by side. That's the thing some book will refer to that as a concentration. All right? Your available and quantity goes together. So once you identify part of the problem, your available and quantity, whatever remain there, it can only be your order. All right? But before you can use dosage calculation to solve for milliliter per hours, you have some precaution that you're supposed to take. Precaution one, make sure that available is within the same unit as your order. If your order is in a microgram, your available is in a gram, you gotta do something about it. Convert them so they can match. Second precaution, you have to make sure that your order is in the basic shape either of a gram per hours or milligram per hours, microgram per hours, unit per hours, and MAQ per hour. Okay? So you have to make sure that before you use dosage, your order or what the doctor prescribed or what you need, what you're looking for, it has to be in the basic shape of gram per hours or microgram per hours, milligram per hours, unit per hours, MAQ per hour. Those are the 5 most known different units your order can be expressed on. Okay? If your order is not in the basic shape, you have to bring that back. Does it make sense? All right. So let's get this. Let's get this out of the way. So remember, I said earlier. So we gotta all be on the same page, dear friend. We all has to be the same page. Okay. I said this earlier. For you to use dosage formula to solve for milliliter per hours, when your order, which you're gonna do order available time quantity, your order must be per hours. So it means if your order is 2 milligram per minute, you have to convert this to milligram per hour. So if you look at this scenario, on the top I have a milligram, on the other side milligram. The only thing I'm changing here is to go from minute to hours. How do you go from anything per minute to anything per hours? Let me give you just a quick tips that you'll never forget. Just go down there, multiply the top number by 60, and divide that by whatever minute are there. You need 2 milligrams per minute. It means it's only 1 minute. I divide that by 1. Now I will have 120 milligram per hour. This is how you can go from whatever thing per minute to whatever thing per hours. Multiply the top one by 60 and divide by whatever minute is there. Example, if I have 5 milligram over 2 minutes, well, you have option. I'm trying to convert this to milligram per hour. All right? I will multiply the top one by 60 and divide that by whatever minute are there. How many minutes do I have? 2. So I'm going to divide this by 2. So by doing like that, I'm going to have a 300 divided by 2. I will have a 150 milligram per hour. So it means what? You have to convert. If you have a milligram per minute, you have to convert that to milligram per hour because you need that to be in the basic shape. So now let's go through those exercises. All right. So question number 1. Well, if you read, remember I said earlier that your order must be in the basic shape. Remember that? We say your order has to be unit per hour. Remember that? MEQ per hours. It gotta be gram per hours. It gotta be microgram per hours. It gotta be milligram per hour. You see, your order must be in one of those basic shapes. So if the question asking how many unit per hours, so please understand you are looking for your order. All right. So this video is intended to friends that are using a formula to solve this thing, and we're gonna use dimension analysis another day. Okay. So this, remember, we're going to use, you do your order available time quantity. Well, I know dosage because we remember we say your dosage can be expressed as a milliliter per hour. And your available and quantity goes together. You see that? 25,000 units in 250. This is the concentration that goes together. So, you know your order equal dosage time available divided by quantity. All right? In case you don't remember, your dosage equal order time quantity divided by available, but your order will be dosage time available divided by quantity. Remember, I share with you, I say, everything per hours or per minute is going to be your order that you're going to use in the dosage calculation formula, except for milliliter per hour, because milliliter per hour is your dosage. So anytime they are looking for gram per hours, microgram per hours, unit per hours, all those stuff, just know they're looking for your order. So what do you know? I know your dosage. Your dosage is 18 milliliter per hour. So because I'm looking at unit per hours, you have to make sure that your dosage also is per hour. So I'm going to do dosage, which is 18, multiply that by available, which is 25,000, and divide that by 250. Use your calculator. All right, so you got 18 times 25,000 and divide that by 1, by 250. Now, you got it? So, which one we have? you have 1800 unit per hour. Okay? All right. Let's look at the second one. So second one, if you look at it, what are we looking? All right. If you look at that one, what are we looking? Milliliter per hour. They say round your final answer to the nearest whole number. We learned the milliliter per hour can go two ways: volume over time or dosage calculation, which is auto available time quantity. We say you're going to use a volume over time if they give you time. Once you look at this problem, do you see any time? No. Because you don't see any time, we will use your dosage calculation to solve them. The first thing to do, identify your concentration, which is your available and quantity. Please identify them. So which one do I know? I know 50 milligram in 250 ml. That 50 milligram will be your available, 250 will be your quantity. Whatever remain in that problem there, it can only be your odor. So you know your odor equal to 0.5 microgram per kilogram per minute. So you gotta be careful. You see here, I got microgram. My available it's milligram. So you gotta convert that to microgram as well. So it will be 50,000 micrograms. So now the only thing I have to do, I have to bring this order to the basic shape of a microgram per hour. So this way here, it means what? For every minute, we are giving 2.5 microgram per kilogram of that medication. So whenever you have a order that is expressed in a kilogram of the body weight, the step number one is to get that weight right there in pound, convert that to kilogram, but divide that by 2.2. So I will have 135 divided by 2.2. You have a long number, 61.36 kilograms something. I'm not going to round at that level. I'm going to get the weight that I have. I'm going to multiply that by 2.5 microgram. By doing like that, I'm going to get rid of the kilogram. So I'm going to multiply that by 2.5. You still have that long number. Now you will have a 153.40 point something per minute. Remember, we learn whenever you have something per minute, you have to convert that to per hour. So you multiply by the weight in the kilogram, then you multiply by 60. All right, this is how you will convert that to microgram per hours. Multiply 2.5 by the weight in the kilogram, then multiply that by 60. Once you get your new order, now you're going to get a new order of 153 point something, multiply that by quantity. Your quantity is right there, 250. Then divide that by your available, which is 50,000. All right? Are we there? All right. So let's start that again. You see, you are looking on the problem here, how many milliliter per hours. So get 135 divided by 2.2. You got 61. You multiply that by 2.5. 153. Then multiply that by 60. You have the long number right there. And then you going to multiply that by quantity, which is 250. Then divide that by your available, which is 50,000. Now, your answer is going to be 46. They say round to the nearest whole number, it will be 46 milliliter per hour. So don't forget, dear friend, anytime you are solving for dosage calculation, don't forget, my friend, don't forget, you are doing volume over time or odor available time quantity. But don't forget, we learned that your odor must be in the term of gram per hours or milligram per hours, microgram per hours, unit per hours, MEQ per hour. It means if that odor it's not in one of those basic shapes, it's your responsibility to bring that back. All right? All right, let's look at now. Next one. Next one, what are we looking? They say at what rate in milliliter per hours? You see, what are we looking? Milliliter per hour. You see that? Don't forget, for someone that is on an IV heparin at 800 unit per hours. You see that? Keep reading. And the concentration is available at 20,000 units in 250. Do you see any time there? No. Because you don't see a time, you will use the second approach of dosage, which is odor time quantity divided by available. First thing, anytime you decide to use your dosage calculation to solve for milliliter per hour, the first thing to do is for you to identify your available and quantity. Remember, they both goes side by side. Because I know this is my available, that one is my quantity. Whatever remain in that problem can only be my odor. But my dear friend, before you do anything, you have to make sure that your odor is in the basic shape of a unit per hour. Because the pump it is set up per hours. If it was 8 units per minute, we will have to multiply that by 60, divided that by 1, because we have to convert that to hours. So in this case, my odor it's in basic shape, it's ready to be used. So I'm gonna do, remember that is your odor. We do odor multiply by quantity, which is 250, and divide by available, which is 20,000 units. Get your loved one calculator, get 800, multiply that by 250, which is my quantity, divide by 20,000. Which is my available. So my answer right there, my dear friend, it will be 10. All right, milliliter per hour. So let's keep going. Let's do another one. Next, what did I say? Same concept, you see that? We are looking milliliter per hour. Read. Do you see any time? No. Oh, Mr. Z, I see a time. Where? Oh, unit per hour. That's not the time I'm talking about. The time, the number they give you that you have to infuse that medication over that time. You don't see that. The only thing you see is they give you your available here. You see that? They always goes together. 200 unit, 500 ml. Your available and quantity. You will use odor time quantity divided by available. Okay? Because you identify your available and quantity, whatever remained there can only be your odor. Just make sure that it is in the basic shape of unit per hour. Okay, my dear friend. Oh, just put your phone down. Oh, Put your phone down. Oh, no. My friend, please, put your phone down. There we go, put your phone down. You don't need to be on TikTok. Put your phone down. We are here to learn. You see, 2.4 unit per hour. So that right there, it's your order. And your order is in the basic shape. Okay? So now we're going to apply our formula. So your order to what? Is a 2.4. You see? Your available is what? Is 200. That's your quantity. And this one here is your order. So let's apply everything. Now we'll have what? 2.4 multiply that by 500 and divide that by what? By 200. So let's go down there. You have 2.4 multiply that by 500 divide that by quantity, which is 200. Mrs. Z, where do you see 500? It's right there. 500 milliliters. What do you call the available 200 unit? Because that's the medication just diluted in that quantity right there. So the answer that we have right there is going to be 6 milliliter per hour. Okay, let's do the other one in this series right here. Okay, so let's look at this right here. Don't be afraid to read. Don't forget, you have a clear instruction asks you to run to the nearest whole number. They say a client is receiving nitroglycerin infusion for chest pain. They say there are 50 milligram in 500 milliliters. So what is that? 50 milligram in 500 milliliter. Good job. That's your concentration. Yes, good job. It's your available and quantity. Remember, I share with you, if you cannot use volume over time to solve for milliliter per hour, then you will use your dosage calculation. So in that way, you first thing to do, identify your available and quantity, please. My available is there 50 and 500 ml is my quantity. Whatever remained there can only be your order. So read the problem. They say that med is infusing at that moment at 10 microgram per minute. But that person still complain about pain. So the nurse has increased the infusion by 2.5 microgram per minute. Oh, pay attention. Increase 2 and increase by are not the same thing. So this infusion was first running at 10 microgram per minute. So the nurse, because someone still complained about the pain, decide to increase by 2.5 microgram. It means at that moment right there, everything was running at a 12.5 microgram per minute. This one here, it's your order. And 50 milligram is your available, 500 milliliter is your quantity. Before you forget, you see, you got milligram there. Here you got microgram there. Here you got milligram. You have to convert that right away. It becomes 50,000 microgram. That is your available. Your quantity is there. So now, the only problem we have is a microgram per minute. Your pump is set up per hours. Because your order, this way here, dear friend, it's your order. Before you do anything, your order must be in the basic shape of microgram per hours. Because I have a microgram per minute, for me to go to microgram per hours, the only thing I have to do is to multiply 12.5 by 60 and divide that by 1. Okay? So Now we got 12.5 times 60. Now I will have 750 microgram per hour. If you did everything correct, if you have to go to per minute again, you just have to divide this by 60 to make sure you have the initial 12.5 microgram per minute, okay? So now my order is in the basic shape of a microgram per hour. The only thing I'm gonna go get my order, which is 750, multiply that by your quantity, which is 500 milliliter, divide by available, which is now 50,000. Okay, so get your calculator, dear friend. 750 multiplied by 500, which is your quantity, divided by available, which is 50,000. So I have 7.5, but because they ask me to round to the nearest whole number, the answer is going to be 8 for that question. All right? All right. So we're making some progress here. Good job. Let's look at. Well, the reason we use 12.5, because you may have that question. The reason is because the initial infusion was going at a 10 microgram per minute. Later on, the nurse called the doctor and decides to increase by. It means they have added 2.5 microgram on top. It means now that new order is a 12 microgram per minute. Let's look at the next one. Next one, what are we looking? It's a drop per minute. All right, drop per minute, it means you are infusing that medicine by gravity. You are infusing medication by gravity. You're not using a pump to give this, but you are infusing that medication by the power of gravity. Okay, so drop per minute, just to refresh your memory, equal volume divided by time multiplied by drop factor. Now, if you read in the problem, you will see that the infusion is running at a 45 milliliter per hour. So anytime they give you milliliter per hour and then the drop factor, the volume you're gonna use is the volume that is right there with your infusion rate, and the time is gonna be 1 hour. But because we are looking for drop per minute, you have to convert that to minute, which is 60. So drop per minute, now it will become 45 volume right there, divided by 60, and we'll multiply by drop factor, which is 10. So let's go down there. 45. You got 450, then divide that by 60. I got 7.5, but they say round to the nearest whole number. I'm gonna round that to the nearest known number. It will be 8. All right, so this is how we can solve those questions, my dear friend. Are you good? All right, so make sure that you're not getting tired. If you are tired, just pause that video and come back later on. All right, let's move on to the next page. Next page, what we have. Let's see. You see? Easy, right? Now it does make sense. What are we looking? Milliliter per hour. Are you going to use volume over time here? Good job. No. Why? Because you don't have a time. Because we do not use volume over time, now we're going to use dosage calculation. The first thing, identify your available in quantity right there. 450 milligram, it's your available. 250, it's your quantity. The whatever remaining there can only be your order. For you to use dosage calculation, you need your order to be per hours, because your pump is per hours. If you use per minute, well, you're not going to respect what you're looking for. It's not going to work because your pump is set up per hour, not per minute. Well, the only thing we do, we've been learning this thing. multiply this by 60 divided by 1. So now you will have a 60 milligram per hour. All right? You got milligram there, you got milligram there. So you are ready, you use the formula. 60, it's your odor, divide that by 450. Some people do like this, and times 250. Or you can do 60 times 250 divided by 450. So let's go down there. So you got 60 multiplied by 250 divided by 450, which is your available. You have a 33.333, but because they say a whole number, it will be 33. Make sense? Next question. Next question now. Let me make sure that I explain this thing really good. Okay, let me go back to the last page. That we can go delete those stuff, because my dear friend, you gotta understand those concepts here. If you do, you're always gonna get everything right. So this is what I always tell students to memorize. Dosage, it's a ratio multiplied by available equal odor time quantity. All right? Now, if you're looking for dosage, you divide both sides by available. Then your dosage is going to be divide both sides by available. You know, you will be divide this by available, divide that by available. That one you will cancel out. So we're going to have a dosage equal odor time quantity divided by available, or odor divided by available time quantity. All right? Sometimes they can ask you, when you come to infusion rate, your dosage, anytime you're looking for milliliter per hours, you are looking for your dosage. All right? But we learned that before you can use your dosage calculation, you have to make sure that your order right there, dear friend, it is in the basic shape of gram per hours, milligram per hours, microgram per hours, unit per hours, and MAQ per hour. If it's not, you have to bring them back to there. Example, if they give you 2 gram per kilogram per hour, and they give you the weight is 10 kilogram, right? The only thing to bring this 2 gram per hours is by multiply 2 gram per kilogram by 10. All right? You see that? And once you do that, the kilogram will go away. Now you will have this. Let me write so you can see the way you cancel out. 2 kilogram, 2 gram per kilogram per hour. See that? So you multiply that by 10 kilogram. You see? This kilogram and that kilogram cancel out. Now you will have 20 gram per hour. This is how you go from kilogram per hours to kilogram to, gram per kilogram per hours to gram per hour. Why? Because you cannot use this thing like this, that order. You have to bring that to the basic shape of a gram per hour. So let's do another thing again. So if instead of a gram per hours, the problem give you 10 gram per minute. All right? But remember, you cannot use a gram per minute as your order like that. You have to convert that to gram per hours. The only thing for you to do, you will multiply the top by 60. You see that we do that? You multiply that by 60 minutes over 1 hour. We brought this conversion so we can cancel this minute there. You see? Does it make sense? 10 grams per minute, and multiply by 60 minutes divided by 1 hour, it's 1. So in that way, this minute and that minute they cancel out. The only thing you're gonna have is gonna be 600 grams per hour. This is how you set everything. But there's no need for you every time to be writing down 60 minutes over 1 hour. No. So if you have a 10 gram over 2 minutes, the same concept apply. You have a 10 gram over 2 and multiply that by 60. Does it make sense? So once you do that, you will have now 300 gram per hour. I'm kind of refresh you guys on this thing because I don't want you to be confused. So now, dear friend, look at, if they give you gram, we talk about gram per kilogram per hours. We talk about gram per minute. So let's talk about now gram per kilogram per minute. And then the weight is 22 pounds. Because this gram, let's call this 2. Because we have a 2 gram per kilogram per minute, any order that is per kilogram of the body weight, if the weight is not in the kilogram, convert that to kilogram by divide that by 2.2. Now you have a 10 kilogram. Next step is to get that kilogram multiply over there. Remember, when we have a kilogram per hour, do you remember what we did? We multiply by the weight, so we can have a gram per hour. Do you remember earlier when we have a gram per minute, we did what? We multiplied the top one by 60, divided by whatever minute is there. So now here we are combining both under the same umbrella. So the first step you're gonna do, because it's per kilogram, we will multiply this by the weight in a kilogram. Then whatever answer you get, you multiply that by 60. Why? Because you have to convert per minute to per hour. In this scenario right here, we will have a 2 gram times 10 times 60. You see that? So now you're gonna have a 600 times 2. You have a 1200 gram per hour. All right, so let's bring it. So anytime the question asking you to solve for gram per hours or gram per minute, or they ask you to find gram per kilogram per hours, or the question asks to find a gram per kilogram per minute, you can do the same thing for milligram, microgram, unit, MEQ. It means if they ask you, right there, milligram per minute, or they ask you milligram per kilogram per hours, or they ask milligram per kilogram per hour. Same thing with the rest. All of those stuff, my dear friend, anytime and any problem, they are asking you how many grams per hours. Just know, because those are your order. Just know you are looking for your order. Your order will be equal your dosage, which is going to be your milliliter per hour. Remember, I share with you, anything that is per hour, per minute, it's going to be your order, but except for milliliter per hour, because is your dosage. Now you will multiply that one by your available, and you will divide that by quantity. Do not confuse the order formula to the dosage one, which is order times quantity divided by available. All right. Now that this does make sense, let me go ahead and then erase those stuff and let go the other way, so we can go solve them. Okay, so let's see. So let's see. All right, let's see. I think we did this. Let's check. Okay, we did that one. I'll make sure that. Let's see. All right, let's look at here. What are we looking here? You see that we are looking microgram per minute. Anytime you are not looking, if you are not looking for milliliter per hour, if you are looking for milliliter per hours, you are looking for your dosage, which is odor available time quantity. If you are not looking for milliliter per hours, you are looking for something that is per hours or per minute, just know you are looking for your odor. And you know that your odor, it will be your dosage, which is your infusion rate multiplied by available time quantity. So you see, we are looking for microgram per minute. Your microgram will come. This is your available right there, 50 milligram in 500 milliliter. They always goes together. Your available and quantity. So dear friend, I will go ahead convert this to microgram. Why? Because I'm looking microgram per minute. So it becomes 50,000 microgram. I'm not looking per hours. I'm looking per minute. It means I have to divide this 6 milliliter. I have to divide that by 60. Does it make sense? I gotta divide because I have to change hour to minute. Why? Because I am looking for microgram per minute. And that minute right there can only come from that hour. Minute is not gonna come from milliliter or microgram. The microgram comes from milligram, but minute is gonna come from hours. So because I have 6 milliliter per hours, you change that hour to minute. You got 60 minutes there. You got it? All right. So from that point, your dosage, you know. This one here is your dosage. You know that? That's your dosage right there. But we have converted that one to minutes. So right there, I have 6. So you have an option. You can divide this right away. 6 divided by 60. But I love to set it up as a fraction. So this is your dosage. I multiply that by your available. You know? We are available. It's a 50,000. See? 50,000. Divide that by quantity. Your quantity is what? It's 500. This is how I love to do that. Or if you want it, you just go ahead and do 6 divided by 60. You have a 0.1. Multiply that by available, which is 50,000. And divide that by quantity, which is 500. And the answer is going to be 10. All right? If you don't want it, if you like to do things as a fraction, then I'm going to multiply top and top. So I do 6 times 50,000. I got 300,000. On the bottom now, I do 60 times 500. Now I got 30,000. Now I'm gonna do 300,000 divided by 30,000. By doing like that, I still get the same answer right there. All right. 6 divided by 60 multiplied by 50,000 and divided that by 500. We got 10. All right? Does it make sense? So be careful. All right? Be very careful. So anytime they are looking for milligram per minute or microgram per minute or milligram per hour, microgram per hour, unit per minute, unit per hours, MEQ per minute, MEQ per hours, you are looking, my dear friend, for your order. All right? Let's look at the next one. If you are tired, you want to go take a break, put a pause. Go there, talk to your papa, mama, talk to your kids, say, hey, nursing school is not an easy thing, but I believe I'm going to make it. Relax a little bit and come back and finish the video, please. So now, next question, what are we looking? We are looking for what? Milliliter per hour. In this question, you see, we're going to use volume over time. Why? Because they give you time right there. Remember, we say infusion rate, which is milliliter per hour, can go either volume over time, or we're going to use dosage calculation to use this thing. All right? Anytime they give you time, the only thing you're going to do, you're going to use your volume divided by time. Just make sure before you do anything that your time, your time is in the hours and your volume it's in the milliliter. So I'm going to do 1,000 divided by 12. They say round to the nearest whole number. 1,000 divided by 12. I got 83.33. To the whole number, you got 83 milliliter per hour. All right, so let's keep going. Next one. All right, so the next one, what are we looking? Don't be afraid. What are we looking? Microgram per milliliter. Oh, Mr. Z. But what kind of this thing is he again? Oh, my friend. Microgram per milliliter mean what? Per mean what? Per stand for division. So microgram, you can see right here that microgram per milliliter. It means what? You divide microgram, divide that by the value of milliliter. Look at the problem. Which one you have? I got 200 milligram. Because I'm looking for microgram per milliliter, I gotta convert this to microgram. It become what? 200,000. All right. So the only thing I'm gonna do here, get to 200,000 microgram, divide that by 250 milliliter. Yeah. But Mr. Z, what is the microgram per milliliter? My dear friend, don't worry about it. The question asks you microgram per milliliter, okay? This is your concentration, okay? So when you get your available divided by quantity, you're getting your concentration right there. You see that? So just get to 200, right? 200,000. Be careful, don't add up too much zero. If you are adding a lot of zero, it's time for you to go check your glasses or go get a new one or go check your eye. 200,000. Why? Because we are looking at microgram per milliliter, my friend. They gave us milligram. We convert that to microgram. So now you divide that by 250. Then you have 800. You see that? It's 800 microgram per milliliter. Let's move on next one. But I'm glad that we are making progress. As I say again, this practice is for students. They are nursing school. Those they graduate, they want to pass the dosage calculation to get a job, or anyone that require a refresh. But this video is not for you that you have not learned anything about infusion rate. You have not learned anything about dosage calculation. It will drive you crazy. All right, so let's look at here now. Now we have what? What are we looking? Microgram per minute. Like earlier, microgram per minute. You know you're looking for your order. Your order will be dosage, time available divided by quantity. Because I'm looking per minute, I'm gonna get a 12 divided by 60. Why? Because I'm looking per minute. It's per hours. I'm looking microgram. I'm gonna change this milligram to microgram. It become 100,000. Your quantity is there, so I'm gonna do your dosage, which is 12 divided by 6. You can do that if you want it. 12 divided by 6 by 60. My bad, we make mistake. I heard you, Mr. Z. You put 60. You put the 6. I heard you now. 12 divided by 60. I got 0.2. This is your dosage. You see that? Why did we divide that by 60? Because we are looking, if we did not divide by 60, we will find microgram per hour. But because we are looking for microgram per minute, this right there, it's not your order. That one is your dosage. So I have to convert hour to minute. I change 1 hour becomes 60. 12 divided by 60, I got 0.2. Multiply that by your available, which is 100,000. All right, multiply that by 100,000. But where the 100,000 came from? Because we are looking at microgram, we gotta convert milligram to microgram. Now we got 20,000. Don't forget to divide by quantity. What is your quantity? Your quantity is 250. And your answer right there, it will be 80. 80 what? Microgram per minute. So basically, I'm gonna do dosage. Your dosage equal what? Milliliter per hour. Never milliliter per hour is gonna be your order. Never, never, never. Never. So you're gonna turn that dosage 12 divided by 60, multiply that by 100,000. Why? Because that is your available divided by quantity, which is 250. By doing like that, you got 80 what? Microgram per minute. Okay? So, since we are here, let me introduce this thing quick to you because we'll go over that another day. You see this question here? You see that? We solved that. What was the answer? The answer was 80 microgram per minute. But if instead of microgram per minute, we were looking microgram per kilogram per minute, and the weight was 22 pounds, after you solve for microgram per kilogram per minute, microgram per minute, now you have to divide that answer by the value of the weight. The weight in the kilogram is 10. But Mr. Z, but why we don't multiply? Well, you multiply if you are trying to get rid of the weight. All right? 2 grams per kilogram, the weight is 10. I'm trying to get rid of the weight. I multiply by 10, I got 20. But if I'm looking what I should be giving per kilogram of the body weight, I have to divide that value by the weight. In this case now, if your question was to solve instead of a microgram per minute, to solve for microgram per kilogram per minute, I will get the final answer of 80 microgram. Now I'm gonna divide that by 10 kilogram. By doing like that, now I'm gonna have a 8 microgram per kilogram per minute. You got it? Those are the simple stuff you need to be mindful for that. Okay, so let's see. Let's see next one. What are we looking here on the next one? Next one, we are looking milliliter per hour. It means what? That we are looking dosage. Do you see infusion? Do you see any time there that we can do volume over time? No. So we'll do dosage. So it means this is my available, that is my quantity. Because there I got microgram, you gotta bring this 50 milligram to microgram, it becomes 50,000. Because you have a microgram per minute, you gotta multiply that by 60 to convert that to microgram per hour. So 30 multiplied by 60, now you have 1800 microgram per hour. Well, you know your dosage equal order available times quantity. Now your order is what? 1800 divided by your available, which is what? 50,000 multiplied by your quantity, which is 250. You can do either way. 1800 times 250 divided by 50,000, or 1800 divided by 50,000 times 250. So let's do. So we got 1800, all right, divided by 50,000. Now we'll multiply by 250. So the answer will be 9 milliliter per hour. Let's look at this one here. Which one we have? We do have we are looking milligram per hour. Remember, if you rewind the video, you remember what I shared with you. Anytime you are looking for milligram per hour, microgram per hour, you're looking for your order, except for milliliter per hour, because a milliliter per hour, that's your dosage. So in this case now, dear friend, we are looking this, you see, because we are looking milligram per hour, we're not gonna mess up with nothing here. We're just gonna use 50. If we were looking for milligram per minute, now we will have to divide that hour by 60. Why? Because this is how you convert to minute. But because we are looking milligram per hours, we will use our dosage the way it is. We are looking milligram. You have to make sure that you are available as well is in the milligram. You see, my available is 600 milligram. I have nothing to do. But Mr. Z, the first one you convert that to microgram. Yes, I did. But this one here, it's milligram already. All right, so I don't have nothing to worry about that one. So if you look at this question there, I got microgram. I'm looking microgram per minute. I have to bring that 50 to microgram. Why? Because I am looking for microgram per minute. Then this hour right there, I will have to convert that to one to minute. Why? Because I'm looking microgram per minute. But here, I am looking milligram per hour. So I leave my dosage the way it is. This my available, it's a milligram already, and my quantity is what? You see your quantity right there, my friend. You see your quantity is 500. So it's a matter of applying your formula. Your order equal dosage multiplied by available divided by quantity. You see that? So if I look at here, what am I looking here? My dosage equal what? 52. You don't divide that by 60 because you are looking milliliter per hour and your dosage is per hour already. Multiply not by quantity but by your available, which is 600. Then divide that by your quantity, which is 500. Get that calculator. 52 multiplied by 600, then divide by 500. Now they say round the answer 62.4. They say round to the nearest whole number. The answer will be 62. All right, so let's see. Let's see another one here. All right. So now we're going to move fast. At this moment, you have understand explanation. So we're going to move fast. So now let's go. What are we looking? You see, we are looking microgram per kilogram per minute. So this way here, we are looking for our order. All right. So we're going to first find microgram per minute. At the end, now we're going to divide that by the weight. You got it? Good job. That is the, for you not to forget. So now, because I'm looking for microgram per minute, this, I'm going to turn that to microgram, correct? It becomes 50,000. This one here, 45, I got to divide that by 60. Because I'm looking per minute. Well, my dosage, my order going to be what? 45 divided by 60, multiplied by your available in microgram, which is 50,000, and divided by quantity 250. So let's go down there. So we got 45 divided by 60, then multiply that by 50,000, then divide that by your quantity, which is 250. 150 that I have, it's microgram per minute. But because I'm looking for microgram, see, I have 150 microgram per minute. But the question, we are looking microgram per kilogram per minute. After you find microgram per minute, divide that answer by the weight in the kilogram. I divided that by the weight. Is already in the kilogram. I got 90. So they say round your answer to the nearest whole number. So if the answer is going to be 2. It's going to be 2 microgram per kilogram per minute. Okay? All right. So let's look at the other one. What are we looking here? We are looking milliliter per hour. Okay, good job. So, you see, I have 0.1 unit per kilogram per hour. The only thing I have to do, I have to convert that to unit per hour, but multiply that by the weight in a kilogram. But Mr. Z, wait. Over there, we divide. Here, we multiply. This thing is getting me confused. I do understand. Here, you are not looking nothing per kilogram. On the first one, this microgram per kilogram per minute, you are looking for it. On the second question, unit per kilogram per hour, you are not looking for it. It's part of the problem. So that makes the difference. So 0.1, you got to get the weight first. 198 divided by 2.2. You got 90 kilogram. Now I multiply that by 0.1. Now my new order become 9 unit per hour. From that moment, you gotta do 9 divide that by 100 times 100. So the answer will be 9. Let's look at the next one. Next one, what are we looking? Well, they ask you unit per hour. You see that? What is unit per hour? Unit per hour, it's not your dosage. You are looking your order. Remember, I told you, if you call 12 milliliter your dosage, look at your available at 100 units. How do you go from milliliter per hour to 100 units? It does not match. Because I'm telling you, your order and your available has to share the same unit. And I've already shared with you as well that your milliliter per hour never is going to be substitute for your order. No, it's always going to be your dosage. So unit per hour, we are looking for your order. Well, your order equal dosage. Your dosage is 12 multiplied by available, which is 10,000, divided that by quantity, which is 250. All right, so let's go down there. 12 times 10,000 divided by 250. So now we have a 480 unit per hour. Let's look at the next one. The next one, what are we looking? Let's see. The next one is clear. A pediatric. They ask you to find out how many milligram per dose you will give. All right. So, it means what? The doctor prescribed 30 microgram per kilogram per day. But you are not giving that daily dose at one time. No. They instruct you that daily dose, if you have to give it, you have to give it in 4 divided doses. It means if your daily dose is 1200 milligram and they ask you to give that in 4 doses, divided in 4 doses, I will get a 1200 divided by 4. So each dose will be 300 milligram. So here, the only thing I gotta do, I'm gonna get a 32 multiplied by 30 milligram. 32 multiplied by 30. I got 960 milligram per day. But they are not asking me a daily dose of milligram. They ask me what I will give per dose. Because the daily dose we are giving that in the divided. You get that daily dose, divide that in 4 doses. But Mr. Z, where do you see divided? Oh, mama, can't you read? You see, it's right there. Divided in 4. That's why I keep telling everyone, make sure that you do read. Read. Because if you don't read, you'll be stressed, you'll be anxious, you'll be frustrated, you'll be irritated. But once you read, you know, okay, that daily dose, I have to divide that in 4 doses. So this now, I'm going to divide that by 4. Divide this by 4. You will have a 240 as a single milligram per dose. Let's look at the next one here. All right, so we are looking milligram per minute. Same concept we did over there. Check. 30 ml, I got to make that to minute. 30 divided by 60. That is your dosage right there, because we are looking for your order. Your milligram come from your gram, so convert that one, it become directly 2000. All right, so we're gonna do 30 divided by 60. That is your dosage, divided by 60, which is 0.5. Multiply that by your available, which is 2000. And divide that by quantity, which is 500 ml. Divide that by 500. Now you will have a 2 milligram per minute. Let's look at the next one. All right. So let's see. So as we go down here, what are we looking? They say, at what rate the nurse will set the infusion pump rate. Okay, so let's look at which one we have. The nurse getting ready to administer a med for client that had the Crohn's disease. The doctor prescribed that dose 5 milligram per kilogram. The patient weight 121. They say 275 milligrams / 250 ml to infuse over 4 hours. You see, we are looking milliliter per hour. What did I tell you? Anytime you're looking milliliter per hour, if they give you time, what do? Volume over time. Which one is your volume? It's right there. It's 250. Which one your time is 4 hours? So you gotta do 250 divided by 4. 250 divided by 4. You have a 62.5. But because they are looking for milliliter, I'm looking for a whole number, it will become 63. You got it? All right. But Mr. Z, what happened to the milligram? Okay, what happened to it? That is the information. I told you, for you to use dosage, it gotta be in the basic shape of a milligram per hour. Do you see milligram per hour there? No. That one just your information. Move on. So volume over time. Remember, I shared with you, anytime you see volume and time, you will do volume over time. All right. Let's see. We're gonna push this thing quick. Next one. What are we looking? Milliliter per hour. You see that? All right. So let's move on. So this, you're gonna get to 30. Look at the weight in the kilogram. I'm gonna do 30 times 80 times 60. Because you have to convert that order in the basic shape. So you got 30 times 60. Let me not confuse you. 30 multiplied by the weight to get rid of the weight, and multiply by 60 because we converted that to hour. So now you know you have that number right there, 144,000 microgram per hour. Just make sure that you are available in the problem, which is 15 milligram per ml, must be in the microgram as well. So that would become what? 15,000 micrograms slash ml. So how do you solve for those calculation? That is your order right there, 144. Why did we multiply by 80? Because we're gonna get rid of the weight. We are giving that medication based on the kilogram by the weight. Why we multiply by 60? It's because we have to turn that to hours. So from that moment, I got 30 times 80 times 60. You got 144. Multiply by quantity, which is 1 milliliter, and divide by your available, which is 15,000. And you got 9.6. They say round to the whole number, it will become 10. Next one, which one will have same concept? Here, I do not have the weight. The only thing I'm gonna do, get the 25 multiplied by 60. Why? Because I have to convert that to microgram per hour. So 25 times 60, I got 1500 microgram per hour. So look at, you have a microgram, your available is 25 milligrams slash quantity to 50. So you have to convert that available to microgram as well. So it becomes 25,000. So what would you do now? You're gonna do your order, which is right here, 1500 microgram. All right. You multiply that one. But me says, see where 1500 came from? By doing 25 times 60. You got 1500 because you convert that to per hours. Then now multiply that one, but your quantity. But why over there we will multiply for by available? Because there we were looking for your order. Here you are looking for dosage. Remember, I say milliliter per hours. It's not your order, but your dosage. I'm gonna get the order time of quantity. So the quantity right here is 250. Multiply that by 250 and divide by available, which is 25,000. So the answer is gonna be 15. Let's look at the next one. All right, I hope this is helping you guys. So let's look at the next one. Next one, what are we looking? We are looking milliliter per hour. So your orders are really in the basic shape. Look at your available. Your available to 8 milligram per hour. So the only thing you gotta do, this is, it's your order, 100 milligram, it's your available, 100 milliliter, that's your quantity. So the answer will be 5. It's gonna be order, which is 5 times 100, quantity divided by available, which is 100. Next one, what are we looking? Milliliter per hour. Same concept like the one we did on the previous question. You have the weight 176 pounds. The only thing you gotta do, get 176 divided by 2.2. You got 80. So now you're gonna get 5 times 80, the weight, and then multiply by 60. Why? Because it's per minute. We try to get that per hour. You have a microgram there. Your available, it's 100 milligram. Convert that to microgram, it becomes 100,000 microgram. So let's get some fun. So we got 5 multiply that by 80, and multiply that by 60. All right? You good? So you got 5, multiply that by 80, multiply that by 60. Now, the answer that you get, you're going to multiply that by quantity, which is 50. Divide that by available, that becomes 100,000. And then the answer you have 12 milliliter per hour. Let's look at the next one. The next one, which one you got? You got 10 MAQ. Then you have 40 MAQ diluted in 500 ml. So 10 MAQ per hour, that is your order. This is your quantity. That one is your available. Do your thing. Do your thing. Your dosage equal order, available time quantity. Move on to the next one. Next one, what are we looking? Milliliter per hour. We did that already. So you gotta convert that weight in a kilogram. 242 divided by 2.2. You got 110. So you're gonna get 5 multiplied by 110 multiplied by 60. This is gonna be your order. Then, because you got microgram there, convert that 500 milligram to microgram, 500,000. This is gonna be your available. 250, that is your quantity. You're gonna do order multiply by quantity divided by available. Do your thing. The reason we multiply by the weight, because of 5 microgram for each kilogram of body weight. That's why we gotta multiply by the weight in a kilogram. All right. So let's move on to the next one. So let's see. What are we looking? Milliliter per hour. So you're looking for your dosage. All right. So you will get a 0.75 multiply that by 60. The answer you're gonna get, that will be your order. Because you got milligram, here you got milligram 450, each your available, 250 each your quantity. You will do dosage, order, multiply by quantity divided by available. All right, you can solve that. Next one, what are we looking? Milliliter per hour. So we are looking for your dosage. All right, so same concept. The weight is there, 270. Your weight is right there, 270. You gotta convert that weight to kilogram, divided by 2.2. 270 divided by 2.2. You have a long number. Don't round at that level. Whatever you have, go multiply that by 5. Then multiply that by 60. All right, you have a long number. Because I got microgram, I gotta bring that 200 to microgram 2. It becomes 200,000. So this is my available, that one my quantity. So I'm gonna multiply what I have in my calculator by my quantity, which is 500. Then I'm gonna divide that by my available, which is 200,000. And I got 92. They want that to be a whole number, so the answer will be 92. So let's move on. Next one. What are we looking? Milliliter per hour. You see? Did you see that to be given over 20 minutes? Correct. It means I'm going to do volume, and fusion rate will be volume over time. That means what? My volume is 100. Divide by 20 minutes. But because my minute got to be in hours, now I'm going to go multiply that by 60. Okay? So you do 100 divide by 20 and time 60. So the answer is going to be 300. Or if you don't want to set up this thing that way, convert that 20 minutes to hour first, but divide 20 minutes by 60. Now you have a long number. You see, that's why once you get a long number, that's what I don't like. So now, where would you stop? You see, to avoid all those problems, anytime you're looking for infusion rate, divide that by the time. If the time is in the hours, you're good. If the time is not in the hour, divide by whatever minute is there, then multiply that by 60. Next one, what are we looking? We are looking for drop per minute. This is your drop factor. This right there, it's your volume. Your time is there. But because we are looking for drop per minute, this time right there must be in the minute. You do 4 times 60, you have a 240 minutes. So now your GTT equal volume over time multiplied by drop factor. Your time is there 240, your volume is there 500, and multiply by drop factor. Let's move on. Next one. What are we looking? Well, we are looking for drop per minute. That is your thing right there. Your volume is there. Your drop factor is there. Your time is right there. Convert that time to minute by multiply 8 by 60, and the answer is gonna be 480. Do your thing. Next one, what are we looking? All right. Let's go here. See, practice make perfect. Once you practice, you will learn. But if you don't practice, my friend, math is not something that you live that like that. Let's look at this number. In this number here, there is an infusion that's going on at 45 milliliter per hour. So we are looking milliliter per hour. This is not an information that we're gonna use. Later on, the doctor called and said, increase that medication to 6 milligrams per minute. But remember, the lidocaine was mixed with the 2 gram in 500 ml. So 2 gram right there. You see, 2 gram each you available. 500 ml each your quantity. 6 milligram per minute each your order. So you have, because I got milligram, I gotta convert that to milligram as well. You have 2000 milligram. Because here your order must be per hours, but it's milligram per minute, you multiply that by 60. So now you have a what? 360 milligram per hour. So you will do 360 times your quantity divided by your available, which is 2000. All right, do your thing, come up with the answer. Let's see. Oh, is that right? Oh, okay, that's the last one. Woo! All right, let's look at this thing here. All right, I'm so happy. So let's look at here now. What are we looking? We are looking milliliter per hour. All right, remember, anytime they give you your time and your volume, remember, it's going to be your infusion rate, we call volume over time. If they don't give you time, then you will do dosage calculation. But just make sure that your order, it is in the basic shape of those stuff. Gram per hours, milligram per hours, microgram per hours, unit per hours, and MEQ per hour. You will use dosage only if they don't give you your time. But if they give you your time, like in this question, my friend, the only thing you gotta do, equal volume divided by time. But remember, milliliter per hours. That means that your time must be in hours, your volume gotta be in milliliter. The only thing we gotta do is gonna be volume, which is 60, divided by time. But because my time it's a minute, I will multiply that by 60. You do that only whenever that time is in the minute, okay? You do that, come up with the answer. If it was infuse 60 milliliter, let's say, infuse 600 milliliter over 10 hours. Because my time is already in hours, I'm gonna just do volume over time, which is 600 divided by 10, which is 60 milliliter per hour. But if the time it's in the minute, like in this question, divide that volume by 6. Let's go back there. See? All right. But because the time is in a minute and you need the time in the hour, don't worry. Just do volume divided by that minute. But don't forget, because it's a minute, multiply that by 60. If it was infused 60 milliliter over 45 hours, then you would do 60 divided by 45. That's it. But 45 minutes, 60 divided by 45 times 60 because it's minute. All right. So now, dear friend, those I will post a exercise on the description box right there. Click on that one and feel free to practice based on what we learn. Practice make perfect. If you don't practice, dear friend, you will not learn. That was Mr. Z, your match coach. If you learn something, please don't forget, call your friend that want to go to nursing school, share that video to them. Or your friend that is struggling, tell that person, come here, come sit down. But when you come sit down, you come to learn. That's not a place you come, quick, you leave. You come to learn with us. God bless you. I wish you the best in your life. And one day, you become a nurse and make an impact on the people's life. God bless you. And then I'll talk to you guys another day. Bye-bye.